I'm Jade the Willow, and today we're going to build an island in Minecraft from scratch, starting with WorldPainter. Let's go. I started with a flat world. It's 1500 by 1500 blocks, and I used a brush to shape out the island. Once I'm happy with my shape, I add in some of the island's main features like cliffs, mountains, and beaches. I played around with the height and placement for a bit until I found something that I liked. Next, I add in the sand. I'm keeping the rest of the island grass, and I'll do some more detail work in Minecraft. I finished by adding in the biomes for the island. I decided on a birch and deep ocean combination. I'm not going with a tropical theme for this island, but I didn't want it to be too cool either. Let's export this into Minecraft. Let's see what we've got here. Big beaches, a little too big, I think, and the seafloor looks a little shallow. The mountains look pretty good though. I didn't want them too tall and dramatic. The cliff looks fine height-wise. I'd like the edges a little bit sharper, and I think I want to extend the cliff along the whole island instead of just this corner. While I fix the island in WorldPainter, I'll tell you its premise. Far away from anything, a little village goes about its life. But lately, the weather has grown stranger and the animals in the forests have been scarce. Then, a carnival arrives. Why has a carnival come to this small island? We'll have to wait to find out. Let's head over to Minecraft. The beaches look a lot better. The mountains still look good. I didn't make them too tall. The seafloor is definitely a lot better. Yeah, I really do like the beaches. I could have gone up 2 layers, but that'll be fine. Okay, let's go look at the other side over at the cliffs. The cliffs are a lot better. I could have made it drop off a little steeper in some parts. Mostly it looks good though, so I'm pretty happy with that. All right, let's head back over to spawn area. I want to map out the space that the village is going to be going in with wool before I start putting in the forest and the trees, which is my next big step. So let's place some wool. Okay, I've got the village mapped out very, very roughly in this whole area, and now we get to start making the trees, which I'm super excited about. When I make a forest, I like to start by making 5 trees. Normally I end up making more. I really never know where the tree making process is going to take me. I've got my platform, I got my spruce wood, let's get started. So I finished my tree. Okay, that's not gonna work. Okay, second tree. Oh boy, not that one either. Okay, this time for sure. Okay, I don't think I'm even gonna bother finishing this one. I finally did get one that I was really happy with. So it just takes a couple tries sometimes, but we're gonna make a couple more and then we're gonna plop them into the forest. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 more trees. Got my wool layout set up. I've got purple for houses and pink for shops, and then the orange is the road. So I have it coming out from the ocean where there's going to be a dock area, and I put it over here because it was deeper than over on the far side where it's shallower, but I'll still have a little path coming out. So I've got a little square in the center. I guess it's a circle. I've got all my houses laid about, and I think we'll get started placing them in. I've got the first couple houses framed out anyway. I haven't added in the texture to all of them yet, but you can kind of see it on the one side. Now I wanted them to be very brown and plain and flat and generally simple because I want it to contrast with the carnival later. But I think they're a little too brown and flat. And one of the other colors that I was thinking of adding in is this gray. Not that that's, a lot more colorful, but it would break up the brown a little bit more. The only problem is I don't think I don't know how to add it in. I could add it in the tower, but if I just add it in the corner like this, it just looks strange. Like, why is there just this other slab of stone here? So I'm trying to figure out a way to add a little bit more color and texture that makes sense. So we'll see what I come up with. I changed the brown mushroom block to granite, which I think does help a little bit. It's still the same kind of bland coloring, but it brings in a little bit more reddish pink to break up the brown. I did really like the brown mushroom block though, and I could, I guess, switch it out for the packed mud. But though that does not look better. I think because the packed mud matches the bricks, and even though it's more busy than the mushroom just feels a little bit too much. I was also thinking I could put in some moss for the roof. At first I thought maybe it like contrasts too much, but I think maybe we'll try it anyway and see if it works. I've gotten to the point where I don't really want to continue until I've done the road, and I love doing the road. So here's what I've picked out. We're using coral because we're by the ocean and it looks nice, and we're also using tuff because tuff is one of my favorite blocks, and then the coarse dirt because we don't want it to be too, on purpose. We want it to look like it has been used, and that's why the path is there. So we're gonna type it up in a World Edit brush. We're gonna do 40% dead horn coral, 40% tuff, and 20% coarse dirt. There we go. And we're gonna make it 3 wide, and then we get to place it, which is so much fun. So let's go. Got the roof design figured out. I did end up adding moss and then some moss carpets to break it up and some beehives, which I think is pretty fun. It took a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with it. Interesting enough, but it still looks grass and patched. I don't know, how do you say that? Patched grass? Thatched. I meant thatched roof. That's what I was thinking of. Oh, I built this little sheep pen, and I built the two little places for them to get shelter, and I wanted to show you because I was so excited because all of the sheep were hanging out under this extra little sunroof. Is that what it's called? Umbrella thing that I made them, and then they all moved, and now it looks like they don't like it at all, but I was really excited. Oh, there they go. I'm happy, my sheep are happy. That's all. Okay, I wanted to show you what I've done so far. I've pretty much finished with most of the buildings, except that one. I need to look at a picture of a mill before I continue because it's been a struggle. But everything else is going well enough. I added in some glow lichen to the houses because of that whole too brown thing we were talking about earlier. I don't know if it's too busy, but I do like that it breaks up the brown a little bit more, so we're gonna leave it for now. I've also been trying to add in some life to the I didn't finish my roof. Ignore that one. I've been trying to add in some more life to the place. So we've got the smoke, there's some banners, and then the sheep And I also added 2 little llamas hanging out over here. We've put in some bushes and some plants, a couple little workstations, and I think my next step is to bring the forest to the edge of the village and fill in some of these blank spaces with trees, which I'm really excited about because I think it'll make it feel a little bit more complete. And that's pretty much it. I'm loving my roofs. Every time I see the beehives up there, it cracks me up and brings me so much joy. I struggled a little bit with these shop buildings. I'm still not sure if I'm going to leave them as they are. The roofs are really flat, but I thought it would be fun to change it up from the house buildings. I'm not sure if this is a good solution or not. And then I also put on these little corners, which, if I'm remembering correctly, in Europe, some of the buildings have these extra little stone, essentially what this looks like, on the corners to like help protect them from, I don't know, being run into by carts or whatever. So that was kind of my inspiration for that. I'm not sure if it comes across well with how blocky Minecraft is, but that's okay. So I'm going to add in the trees, and then I'm going to put in a couple more details along the road. Still haven't done the dock, but that's okay. We'll get there. I flew away and looked at it from farther away than I had been when I was working in it, and it's so tiny compared to everything else around, so I think the dock and the ships will help. But I think I'm also gonna make maybe like a little fisherman post out here just to kind of spread it across. I want it to be small, but I think maybe it's a little too small for the space that it's in. I have finished detailing a little bit more. I've added a couple things like this little cart. I finished that guy. Still don't want to talk about him. What else? I put little tiny interiors in each house. Just very basic, but enough so that there's something in them. I added in more of the trees, which I think makes this place look a lot better. I'm really happy with it. It just rounds it out, makes it a little bit more lively, and anchors the village into the island a little bit more. So we're going to call that for this episode. Next time, we're going to work on the shoreline a little bit more, on the docks, some more landscape around the island, probably just finishing the shoreline all around the island, do all of the ocean stuff kind of at once. And maybe we'll get started on the carnival and really diving into the story of this place a little bit more. I'm super excited about it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time.